Good evening and welcome to Florida Live, bringing you training, incentives, motivation, and Florida recognition. Your hosts for tonight's event are Daniel and Rebecca Gonzalez, State Vice Presidents of Florida, as well as your co-hosts, Regional Director from South Florida, Mr. Jeffrey Lewis, and Regional Director from North Florida, Mr. David Hauser. Without any further ado, here is Daniel Gonzalez with your state news and announcements.
All right. Well, thank you there for that introduction. And guys, what an exciting month it's been so far. So many things have happened already. It's just awesome. And in the words of our guest speaker today, it's hot. All right. You can't say it any other way. We're just breaking brand new records month after month. What an exciting time to be with a company like Legal Shield and going out, empowering individuals, giving people an opportunity to be financially independent. It's just amazing. And Florida right now, guys, we are off the chain, blowing it up. I'm just so proud of everything that everyone's done so far this month. But guys, look, we're only in the 8th day of the month. We're just getting started with this bad boy. So I'm so excited about everything that we have lined up for you today, especially our guest speaker is going to drop some good nuggets and tell you about his story. Maybe you could relate and maybe use his story to help fuel your fire for the month of March, right? So let's get on with these announcements here, folks. Number one, we're doing a phenomenal job here in Florida, and I'm actually going to save some of the bigger announcements here for later on in the call. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and bring in our top one of our top executives here in Florida, guys. Bronze executive director here. You guys know him as Mr. Electric, just an amazing individual here. He's your regional director for South Florida, and we're gonna bring him in so he could recognize and celebrate Florida's top recruiters for last week. Mr. Lewis, over to you, sir.
How's it going, Mr. Gonzalez? How's it going, sir?
Amazing, my friend. It's all yours.
Oh, thank you, sir. I do appreciate that. Listen, I have the pleasure of telling you who the top recruiters are. And I'm just going to tell you, I have a warm spot in my heart for these two individuals. I mean, they're just great people, the husband and wife team, Bob and Sue Joseph. 3 recruits last week. Let's get it. The Josephs holding it down for Orlando in the way it should be. So proud of you guys. You guys deserve it. I know you guys are working hard. So look, I want to go ahead and get right into one of our special sessions that we do here, Interview with Success. You know, this gentleman comes from New York City. He's one of those New York City guys, right? Listen, he's a platinum executive director, $400,000 ring earner, Millionaire Club member. You know, you call me Mr. Electric, but this gentleman is definitely the powerhouse in the room. Mr. Cliff Malloy, are you there, sir?
I am. How are you, sir? Mr. Lewis, good to see you, sir. Good to see you all of you.
How's it going, sir?
It's outstanding, man. I mean, it's incredible. It's March Madness. It's my birthday month, so it's all coming together.
Well, happy birthday to you, sir, and we appreciate you doing this. I understand that you're bottom side now. You spent some time in Florida. You definitely came to the right side of the map, and so we appreciate you. Look, I'm gonna jump right into it, Mr. Malloy. Well, how did you get started in Legal Shield?
Well, you know, I appreciate that. And when I was, let's just say I was first exposed 2 years before I actually joined Legal Shield. Okay. And it was 24 years ago, believe it or not, that I was exposed for the first time. And it was, I had 2 jobs. I had a full-time job and a part-time job. Wow. And unfortunately, with both jobs, I still didn't have enough money to pay all my bills. I had 3 young sons that I joke on the basis, but it really is no joke. Them boys was eating, they still do. And and I had child support. I had, you know, lots of bills. I had things going on, and I just didn't have enough money, even with both jobs. Someone at my full-time job stopped me one day and asked me if I kept my options open about making money. Now, I didn't know that was a thing. You know, like when I got into business, I was like, that's a phrase, you know, that you use that all the time, but I had never heard it before. He literally stopped me in my tracks because it sounded attractive. But then when he told me the name of the company, he just came out and said, you know, at that time it was called Prepaid Legal Services. And he said, you know, prepaid legal services, opportunity to make money and all this. The only thing I heard was legal services. And I thought, mistakenly, of course, that he was looking for someone that wanted to be a lawyer or a paralegal or in the legal field. And Mr. Lewis, I didn't say no to him at that second, but I immediately said no to myself. This is not for me. I'm not interested. And I basically, eventually, after about 5 or 10 minutes, I didn't want to cut him off because he sounded so happy. But I just said, it's not for me, man. And I never explained to him why. I just said, it's not for me. Turned my back on him, and I went back to work. Wow. Well, 2 years later, a friend of mine called me from Dallas, Texas, and someone that I'd known for 8 years. And he went on to tell me about, well, he said, Cliff, have you ever heard of Legal Shield? And I said, yeah, I have, and it's not for me. And I just shut him down right away. And then he was shocked. And he said, well, you know, there's people doing this part-time without high school educations making $100,000 a year from home. Well, when he said that, I knew he was being sincere, and I was super curious as to how it was possible someone could make that kind of money in the legal field without a formal education. And I started asking him questions out of curiosity. I still wasn't interested for myself, but I was like, well, how does it work? What would someone have to do? You know, and he said, Cliff, there's nothing I can say that's more powerful than what you're going to see. That's a key phrase. That's isn't that powerful?
Yeah.
He didn't quite say it just like that, but that's how we phrase it today. But he basically shut me down, basically, and said, look, I'll send you a video. And back then, it was a VHS video. I mean, this was 22 years ago. And he sent me that video after a couple of weeks. And Mr. Lewis, I watched it, and I liked what I saw. And I immediately went to work on a part-time basis, sharing that video with others. And the rest is history.
You know, I love that story because already when you looked at it, you know, you already had your own personal objection, and then you dealt with that, you know, through the journey. Let me ask you this next question. What was your biggest objection that you had to deal with in Legal Shield, and how'd you overcome it, you know, working in that arena, you know, like becoming a Legal Shield associate? What was your biggest objection, and how'd you learn how to overcome that?
Well, at the very beginning, you know, with no experience in this particular business model, I barely heard of Legal Shield, much less been involved in it or experienced in it. Quite the opposite. I was quite intimidated because of the professional aspect. I never went to college. I barely made it through high school. So the idea of being in the business was a little intimidating. But when I saw the video, Mr. Lewis, that got me excited because I felt like, you know, I don't have to be a lawyer. I don't have to go to court. I don't have to be sharp or glib or, you know, polished. I never really liked sales, but you know what I could do? I can press play. I can show people a video. And if they like the video, then they'll get it. If they don't like the video, then I'll just move it to someone else and keep going until I find someone who does like the information. But but initially, Mr. Lewis, to answer your specific question, my early objections when I joined Legal Shield were from friends and family that already knew me. I mean, quite frankly, here I am in the legal services business, sharing with people an opportunity to make money. Well, out of everyone that I knew, they also knew me because I didn't do leads or ads. I still don't to this day, 22 years later. I don't do leads. I don't run ads. I don't do flyers on stuff. I don't do any cold market. It's all warm market or people I meet. And but when I started in the business 22 years ago, I started with everyone that I already knew. You know, I made a list. I used a memory jogger, and I just approached them. But the problem with that for me was everyone that I knew, they also knew me. And they knew two things about me as I approached them with this business. They knew I wasn't a legal expert, right? Not on this side of the law. And they also knew I wasn't a financial expert because most of the people I was asking to take a look at Legal Shield, I had already owed them some money. I mean, not talking about big money. I'm talking about $10, $20, $30, $50, a couple of people, maybe 100. But a lot of people were like, well, look, when you pay me back the $50 you owe me, I'll take a look at your legal thing. You know? Those are some of my biggest objections. And of course, I also got the objections like, I don't have time. You know, it's not for me. I'm not interested in it. You know, is it one of those pyramid deals? And what's great is that I answered those objections with the same phrases that I learned from Dave Savula, because I approached everybody, Mr. Lewis, with this phrase, because my goal was not to sell a membership. My goal was not to recruit an associate. My goal was to simply get you exposed to the information, right? To engage you, as Mr. Don Thompson would say, with the opportunity and the services. And I did that with the videotape. So the phrases that I use that I learned from Dave Savula is, I have something important I want to show you. It'll only take about 15 minutes. Today, I say it'll only take you a few minutes, and you may or may not be interested. And when I got an objection, somebody would say something like, well, I don't have any time. And I said, Joe, I know you don't have any time. That's why I only asked for a few minutes or 15 minutes. I've known you for 5 years, and a few minutes or 15 minutes isn't a lot out of 5 years. Right, Joe? Okay, come on over. So.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So let me ask this question, right? So, okay, you 24 years of experience. I mean, you know what a good associate, or the proper way to get to a new associate launched, right? Platinum executive director. You know how to do this. In your opinion, what's the most important? Why is it important for a new associate to get to the core position, and what's some tips on getting there to the core position in our compensation plan?
Well, our core position in our compensation plan is right near the middle. It's manager. And of course, we know that a brand new associate wants to fast start qualify, become a senior associate. But, you have to set a goal for a new associate a little over the horizon, right? If you set a goal that's just close enough for them to see, and if you edify that goal, when they get to that short range goal, because it's so edified, if we edify just fast start qualify senior associate, if we make that the big deal, when associate gets to that goal that they can see, then they feel like they reached the place, they got there, and then they take their foot off the gas, right? We want to set a goal for a new associate that's a little beyond the horizon. They may not quite see the way there yet, right? Clearly yet, but we basically edify that core rank of manager, set the goal for manager, and let them know that along the way, you're going to know you're reaching that goal. You're going to know that you're getting closer when you hit senior associate. When you qualify for senior associate within your first 20 days, you're going to be more than halfway to getting to that next objective of manager, which is our core rank. And the core rank really sets up an associate for all the other levels that come in the Legal Shield. It literally is the foundation, and a solid one, because by being at the core rank of manager level, you engaged in building the business. You have some volume, at least $400 a premium, and you have 3 independent associates in your organization. So you've literally started, I won't call it a leg until it's 3 deep in associates, but you started the foundation of 3 legs in building your business. So core rank is really key. It's core.
No pun intended. So let me ask this for some of the more seasoned associates. If you had an associate, with all the success that you have, consistently, you've built a real wealth business, right? One that continues to give back to you. So for those associates that, are hitting executive in and out, popcorn, or not gotten to a ring yet, right? What would you say to those that, and what tips would you give, or what would you say to those that are stuck, right? Or think they're stuck, and how would you, get them to help them to get to the next level? What kind of advice would you give those individuals?
That's a good question. The best advice that I would give is to focus on the fundamentals, right? Sometimes we want to get to the top level without building a solid foundation at the bottom. And you will literally get to the top level, not because you're reaching for it by yourself, but by helping others beneath you get what they want. I mean, it sounds oversimplified to say if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything you want. Just like Zig Ziglar said it. There's a reason why after he said that, it resonated, because that is universal success principles. And our business kind of runs on that universal success principle, because if you truly help people, and I'll be very specific, if you help people in your organization continuously and consistently qualify for Performance Club, right, and then you start helping more people do that, and you help, first of all, you become a consistent Performance Club qualifier. That's really where it starts, because you don't always attract what you want, but you'll often attract what you become. And if you become a consistent Performance Club qualifier, now that gives you the universal ability to teach others. And it gives you the position of strength to say, hey, you follow me. You follow me. And
Gotcha.
I can say you follow me because I'm doing that thing that I would like you to do. I am a consistent Performance Club qualifier. I'm going to show you how to become a consistent Performance Club qualifier. So you do the thing, you teach the thing, and you teach others how to teach that very thing. That simple thing right there seems so simple, but it's so powerful because when you have several Performance Club qualifiers on your team, you'll qualify effortlessly for things like senior director and executive director. It's just a matter of numbers in people getting there. So it's not about you getting the ED. It's about building an executive director organization.
Wow. That's big. Okay. And I love that. I'm going to shift gears. I want to stay there. I want to ask more questions, right? But let me ask this. Cliff, what's your personal development like? What's your favorite personal development book and why?
Ogmandino once said, Ogmandino wrote a lot of good books, right? Ogmandino once said, the difference between where you are today and where you'll be in 5 years is in the books you read, the people you meet, and the seminars and or events you attend, right? And again, these are universal success principles, and they fit right into our business. Because think about it, the books you read, the books or tapes that you listen to, the people you meet, we're in the people business, and the events you attend, we're in the events business, right? I mean, we attend events, we grow our business. We got the International Convention coming up. We got Super Saturday right here in Florida coming up this weekend. Those are events we build into. Personal development is so important because I wouldn't be here. You know what? I may not be here, but I certainly would not be as deeply into personal development and wouldn't have developed the mindset, the attitude, the philosophies that I have today, which have carried me to where I am, right? I am the sum of the decisions I've made every day for the last several years. I mean, I jokingly say, maybe a little bit of a joke, but I joined Legal Shield in my mid-30s. I was in my mid-30s when I joined Legal Shield, and I've been here as an associate for 22 years, and I'm still not 40 years old yet. Now, don't try to figure out the physics. Don't you'll hurt yourself. But the fact is, it's the philosophies, right? And it's from the personal development. Now, you asked me that question. My favorite book of all time, and I've read lots of them, is probably Think and Grow Rich. Because it embodies so many different philosophies and attitudes. And I mean, if you want to acquire a skill set in the accumulation of wealth, Think and Grow Rich is the book to develop the skills around. So that by Napoleon Hill. So that would be the book I would recommend someone who wants to really amass a fortune and build a fortune in or out of Legal Shield. That's definitely the book to develop the principles and concepts around.
I got one more question for you before we go here. And that question is, and I guess it's probably attracted to the personal development thing. It's really, you don't do cold stuff, right? And it comes from this interview right here. But so how do you continue to attract the right prospects for so long? I mean, you're consistently building team. One thing that impresses me about you is you're a doer, right? You're not somebody that's slacking around. I mean, you're hitting new heights all the time, right? You just got these bonuses and everything, 20 plus years. So how do you continue to attract the right prospects around you so you can continue to grow the business the way you do? I mean, I'll let you answer it from there.
It goes back to kind of what I said before. You don't always get what you want, but you attract what you become, right? And I've developed the ability through learning, through seminars and books. It's not natural. I got to tell you, sometimes people say, you're a natural people person. No, you don't. You're not a natural people person. You learn because you want to be something, right? I was not always a natural people person. I probably repelled more people prior to personal development than I attracted them. But the fact is that on purpose, I try and I do my best to maintain a positive mental attitude. I try to be friendly. When I walk into an environment, I want to brighten the environment. I don't want to dim the environment, right? Okay. It doesn't matter if I'm at a Waffle House, which in Florida I go to from time to time. I go to New York. And I know some of Floridians are like, Waffle House.
No, I love it.
I haven't been here long enough to not like it. You understand? But the fact is, when I go into any store, I always set a goal in my mind that I'm going to make this person laugh. I'm going to make them smile. I don't recruit everybody, but sometimes if I get a gut feeling that I think this person would be phenomenal at this, or if I like to give them an opportunity to take a look at it, I may share it with them. But 80% of the people that I interact with, that I brighten their day in that moment, because I did it on purpose, because I wanted to, because I challenged myself to do that. Maybe 80% of them I never talked to about Legal Shield at that moment, but there's a good chance that that's not going to be the last time they see me. You know, the people at the bank, I could probably recruit 4 people at my bank right now, not because they know my bank balance, which is pretty good, but but because, you know, I've made friends with them. You know, I've had conversations with them, and you know, it's like when a person what is that old adage? People don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Right.
You know, so I developed relationships with people that I see on a regular basis at 7-Eleven, where I get my coffee every day, the bank, you know, Home Depot. I'm really starting to know the whole staff. I'm like, you know, I can put on one of them orange aprons and help you out if you want. You know, that kind of stuff. You know, so you just be a people person, and then from time to time, you plant the tree, it grows the fruit. You don't pick fruit every single day. You don't pick fruit, but I pick fruit as I need to eat. So this month, I'll be picking a little bit more fruit as I look to recruit. So I'll be going out there to all those relationships I developed over the last 3 months or 4 months here in Florida, and I'll be picking some fruit to recruit. I've actually already started doing that. So fruit to recruit. I like that. It rhymes.
Listen, Cliff Malloy, as always, love you, man. I appreciate everything that you do. You have any closing words for us before we go off the slide? Anything you want to say?
Listen, everybody that's watching this right now, just take this very seriously. Take it with a sense of urgency. Always work from a position of strength, that you have an incredible opportunity that everyone needs to know about. Not everyone's going to get their membership. Not everyone's going to become an associate. But you can't control that, but you can control who you share it with. And just, you know, let people know, you know, get the word out there. I'll just say it this way. 100% of the people you don't talk to about Legal Shield can never join you in this business. Now, that's not to say they won't join somebody else, but if you don't talk to them about it, they can't join you. So somebody's going to get them. Let's go make it happen and go write a membership. I'm just saying, go write a membership.
Ladies and gentlemen, the powerhouse, Mr. Cliff Malloy. And that's it for us today on Interview with Success. Appreciate you, Mr. Malloy.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Hauser, Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. and Mrs. Gonzalez. Appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I just want to highlight there's no better way to promote what's about to happen this Saturday with our Super Saturday, March 13th, with Mr. Cliff Malloy myself. I'm just going to tell you, I've been to a Super Saturday. I've been to a couple Super Saturdays with Mr. Malloy. Not only is it high energy and it's exciting and it's interactive, but you know what's most important? He has tools, real tactical things that you can use to accelerate your business, things to help you with your mindset, on how to produce, on how to grow. Look, he's a trainer amongst trainers. You do not want to miss this, okay? Because this is definitely going to help you get to your business to the next level. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you my friend, my brother in regional managership or directorship, after you will, Mr. David Hauser from North Florida. Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. And great interview. Man, that was amazing. That's amazing. I can't wait till Saturday. And so we can see Mr. Malloy again, live and in person. So in person on video, right? So good stuff. Hey, we're going to talk about the promotions for the month of March. March Madness. The first thing you want to do is keep your prospect by Legal Shield going. You're 2 a day, right? Over the last month or so, you were planting that seed. Keep doing that because it's going to fill up your pipeline. So the business is finding people to talk to and then talk to the people that you find. And you need to keep filling up that pipeline. So keep putting in those engagements in your prospect by Legal Shield. 2 a day will keep the doctor away. So we've got this business builder bundle for the month of March. March Madness. I believe the company's lost their mind. Only $99, gang, to get someone started in this business. And included in that $99 is their legal plan, family plan, their family identity theft plan, their home-based business bundle, all for $99. And so that's amazing, folks, this month. So you want to recruit. And so between the 7th of March to the 15th of March, you're going to get double bonus, right? Double points for those recruits. Okay, so you want to be in Performance Club. One recruit this month with that bundle, you're in Performance Club. 2 recruits this month with that bundle, you're in Performance Club Pro. So double those recruits from the 7th to the 15th. Man, keep that activity going. Do the activity, plant the seed. Don't worry about the results. The results will come. This is March Madness, ladies and gentlemen. Legal Shield has taken the lid off. No more excuses. Let's go out there and blow this thing out of the water this month. This month, starting tonight, get on the phone and get somebody on a Zoom presentation so they can get the full information. So now is the time. It's our time, ladies and gentlemen. March Madness. Back to you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Hauser, for everything you do out there in North Florida and for going over and breaking down those incentives for us, my friend. Appreciate you. All right, ladies and gents, so you heard it from the best right there. March Madness is underway, and hey, all of your recruits count for double towards March Madness. So if you're on one of those teams, hey, start recruiting right now, right? Because it's going to help your team head to the top of that leaderboard. So, folks, understand, no matter where you're at in Florida, you could plug into your local leadership, plug into your local meetings, weekly meetings that we have in your regions there. If you're in South Florida, Tuesday nights with Mr. Jeffrey Lewis at 8 p.m., live Zoom opportunity presentation with phenomenal leaders. But what's cool about that, it's a live Zoom, so you could go in there, meet some locals, some local leadership, find some workout partners, and make some great friends. And then Mr. Hauser has another on Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Those are both Eastern times. So make sure you could find, you find those both on the Legal Shield calendar. Also, if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel. Stay abreast as to what's happening here in Florida. If you want to be hot, you got to stay close to the fire. And we're a family here, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing that Florida puts out. So again, ladies and gents, this Saturday is going to be off the chain amazing. We got our law firms are going to be present at this event. We got Mr. Cliff Malloy, $400,000 income earner, Millionaire Club member, Platinum World Council member. Guys, you're going to learn. And we were on the phone earlier today, and he told me just a little bit about what he was going to be training on. Look, you don't want to miss it, but even more, you don't want anyone on your team to miss it. So make sure, if you want to explode your business, guys, get everyone to this event because it's going to be off the chain, right? This Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2:30 Eastern time, again, at FloridaLSEvents.com. You'll probably get 4 emails between now and then, so look out for your emails with the link to log into that. And I look forward to seeing you all there, folks. God bless you all. Have a great night, and let's make March our month. Our time is now. God bless you, everybody. See you next week.